Alright, welcome back to another episode of the series in which we are installing all the desktop environments available on Arch Linux in the official repositories in alphabetical order. And as always, we use the desktop environment article on the Arch Wiki. So let's jump down there to the officially supported list. And last time we took a look at the GNOME Flashback desktop. So this time we are going for KDE, and as you can see here, the KDE is a software project that comprises of the desktop environment known as Plasma and a collection of libraries and frameworks and several applications. So first of all, we are interested in the desktop environment itself, and for that we can either install Plasma Meta or Plasma, which one is a meta package and the other is a group. So you decide which way you want to go. And well, we can also just install a very minimal installation using the Plasma desktop package. And here are some instructions for Wayland usage. And if you want to check out what is in the Plasma group, you will see that, well, a lot of things are in here, which you will be able to use once you install this whole group of Plasma software. And of course, if you want to check this out on their own website, then it is on the KDE website, so you can see what Plasma is, and you will find their taglines like simple by default and powerful when needed. And I guess these are the two taglines that most of the fans of the Plasma desktop environment will bring up alongside with its customizability. So we will check out how this fares on an Arch Linux system, and first we will go with the Plasma desktop package. So let's just do our customary thing where we sudo pacman plasma dash desktop, I guess. And let's see. Yeah, I should actually specify what to do with this. So yeah, let's start to install the Plasma desktop package, which is of course the minimal installation on Arch Linux. And well, I guess we can go with Pipewire Media Session, I don't know, or Wireplumber. Won't really matter. Which one do we want from this? GStreamer, maybe, yeah. And let's install all these 751 megabytes on our system, and I will pause the recording for this time and we'll be back with you once the system is installed and I'm logged into our new Plasma session. Alright, so the Plasma desktop have been installed, and by default we get the panel on the bottom here with a nice clock and the calendar, a show desktop icon here, I guess, is, and we can open notifications, clipboard, tasks and devices, all this kind of status and notifications here. What I can see on the left-hand side, where everyone is expecting a start menu style application launcher, we have this quite nice looking application launcher. You can see that there's not much applications to launch from here, but it has a nice hint of transparency, but it's still, you know, the color is still strong enough that you can tell the icons apart there. We have the system settings and the Qt browser icons here, and there are two icons that are just not working because we don't have everything installed, but for some reason the default desktop wants to have the Discover app, which we don't have here, and something else over here. So let's take a look at some of the main features of the KDE desktop, which is supposed to be its insane customizability. So we have one system and the settings place. So maybe what we want to go with menu editor is, I guess this is for just editing, yeah, the menu, the application menu here. And we need to go to the system settings, I guess, to be able to harness all the possibilities that the Plasma desktop is going to give us. So once the system settings menu appears here, we can see all the different, okay, so the icon theme is quite nice already. So even in the main menu, we can change a few things already. So we might be able to switch to a dark theme, and we might want to click on apply. So in here, I guess we don't have that option that just click on it and it changes automatically. We have to apply the changes, and for some weird reason, I guess it might be because of the virtual machine, but there is a desktop background set by Feh, I think, and sometimes it seems to shine through the Plasma desktop's background. But if we go directly into the appearance menu, we will have a little more variety to change the appearance of our desktop environment. So we cannot just do dark theme and light theme. We actually see what the name of these themes are. So Breeze, Breeze Dark, or Breeze Twilight, for example. We can try that one, which is supposed to be a mixture of light and dark themes. And you can see that somehow the original background from that's set by by a Feh script sometimes shines through here, but it doesn't matter. I guess this might be because of the virtual machine. What's nice is that we can get our own global theme, or not own, but we can get other global themes from this theme store, which is always nice when a desktop environment just gives us this option to just download and install and use themes directly from the settings menu. So these, of course, will be installed only locally for the user. There are themes that you can install globally from Pacman. There are, I guess, application styling options here for how the Windows elements should look, how the Plasma environment should look. So we can change around a few widgets, I guess. Window decorations, like these are the window decorations, which you can see them now. So we can change those to something else if we want to. But I guess the Breeze was the one that was much neater looking here. And title bar buttons, so we can, I guess, customize buttons here. Fonts, icons. These are all nice that we can choose from all of these. Cursors, for example, we can switch to Breeze Light, cursor, theme, and things like that. Splash screen or launch feedback, I don't know what that is. So anyways, there are a lot of appearance settings, and everything in Plasma you can customize quite well. So window management, for example, things like that. You can have your own KWin scripts, for example. And let's take a look at the bar, this is a bar. So what we can do is we can enter the edit mode, and we could remove widgets or add widgets. So when we move our icon, or what is it, cursor over something, then it will show what it is. It's an icons only task manager, which means that even if an application is open, only the icon of that application is shown here. So we don't see the icon, or we can only see the name of the application once we hover our cursor over it. But if we change it to, maybe we want to add another widget, which is, we could have, not the icons only, but what was it called? Task manager, for example. This one. If now I open the settings menu, on the regular task manager, we can see the name of the window appearing there. Of course, in general, we don't need both of these. So we could just go back to the edit mode, hover over this, and remove this task manager from over there. Alright, so what else? We can add widgets, we can configure desktop and wallpaper, choose global theme from here, display settings, and even manage desktop and panels. So you don't see that now, but it's here, manage desktop and panels. So we can have multiple virtual desktops on Plasma, just like everywhere else, but we can also, change what panel appears on what screen. And let's, where is this workspace behavior? So here we can have multiple virtual desktops. So maybe we want to have 4, which is, I think, what most of the people are used to is having 4 virtual desktops. I mean, maybe not most of the people, but me definitely. On Cinnamon, you have 4 by default, and that was kind of nice for me. We have screen locking, touchscreen, screen edges, so we can customize what will happen when we push the mouse cursor to these edges. And of course, on a virtual machine, it's not going to be as nice as on a like a real monitor, real hardware. What else do we have here? What I want to do is, so we can, for example, in the applications menu, we can add an application to our desktop, for example. So now Qt browser will have an icon on the desktop. We can also add it as a widget to the panel. So as you can see, this appears actually separately from what we have here in this task manager. So this appears as a separate widget. So once we enter edit mode, you can see that this is Qt browser is a widget, icons only task manager is a widget. All right. So, but I want to add more panels. How can I do that? So I want to add more panels, and I do not really find that yet. I did not manage to get into that, but I guess where should that be? Should be somewhere, not window management. Workspace behavior? Or do I do that under appearance? Don't think so. Can I just add a new panel somewhere? Oh, add panel. I can do it on the desktop. Application menu bar, default panel, empty system tray. Okay, so let's add an application menu bar, for example. Okay, so that appeared on the top there, but have nothing in it. Interesting. And can we remove this, more options? No? Panel alignment, left, center, right. Okay, so we can center the panel, and I don't really know. Okay, so we can make it a floating panel. What does that mean? Yeah, let's close this. It's floating because we can see, like, there's on the top and the bottom, we have things over there. Okay. We could add widgets there separately, but I don't really see a way to make this panel like into a dock, but maybe I'm just missing something. Let's remove this. So we can add new panels if we want to. And so we don't have a file manager, but what I've seen is that we have a widget which is called folder view. So we can add the folder view widget, which incidentally still works even though we don't have the file manager installed. So maybe you want to configure this folder view, which you can do, and change the location to any custom location, or just simply set it to the home directory. And if we say OK, now we can browse the contents of our home directory even without having a file manager installed, which is kind of neat. And we can also enter edit mode and put this to somewhere else. I mean, why did I move the menu to? I don't know. But anyways, so we can move these things around here. One other thing is that if you don't like this kind of menu, there is I guess I've seen an application menu which is based on cascading pop-up menus. So you can try to add that one. Oh, I added it 3 times because I was impatient clicking. But anyways, this is kind of this old Windows style menu if you prefer this compared to this more modern and bigger style of application menu. So I guess you could also open the menu editor by right-clicking and editing applications, but let's enter edit mode and let's remove application menu. I can just right-click, or I can just move my mouse, hover over the icon and remove. Come on, please remove this. Okay, now we have the application launcher, which is something else. So the application launcher is the default one, and the application menu is the simple one. Okay, I think we've kind of had a cursory look at the Plasma desktop, so it's time to go back to DWM, where we can actually launch a terminal and install a few more things to make the desktop experience a little more complete. So after all this time we spent in this minimal installation of Plasma, what I found is that even if we would have installed this Plasma group, there is still no terminal emulator in here, neither do we have a file manager. For these we actually would have to install the KDE applications group, but the KDE application group contains a lot of things, and one of the things we need from this is actually the Dolphin and maybe Dolphin plugins. And you can see that some of the packages are here twice, once from the extra repository and once from the KDE unstable repository. But in general, oh, and Plasma is in the extra repository in general, so that's good. So these are, of course, we don't have the KDE unstable repository activated by default, so we don't have to worry about those. But that will contain the newer versions of these applications. So what we need is Dolphin. And well, if you know KDE, you will know that at the letter K, we will have a field day scrolling through looking for anything. But this will even contain Kden Live, which is a video editor. So if you install the KDE applications group, you will have a very, very big programs installed on your system. But of course, what we are looking for here is a console with K. So here we have console. So we will install console. Well, let's just start with sudo pacman-s, and now I will just install the Plasma group, but also we will install console and Dolphin. So we will see how much have changed here. So group Plasma will just install everything. And you can see that there are many things here which have already been previously installed as a dependency for the KDE desktop package. So having those also in a group, it means that if you install the group, all those packages that would be installed as dependencies for the Plasma desktop will be installed as kind of you install them manually through the group. And well, this seems to have been installed or at least downloaded quite quickly. So I will be back with you once we can log into our Plasma session again. So now that we installed everything from the KDE group and also console and Dolphin, we actually have a working file manager icon here. So we can browse our home folder if we want to. And we also have Discover suddenly working, which is supposed to be a software center. We of course cannot install anything from the Arch Linux repositories, but we can still use it to install things like themes, GTK themes, or other type of themes, or console related things. We can have other things for Plasma, so Plasma add-ons like new cursor themes or maybe new wallpapers. If you are interested in these kind of things, Discover might help you install these, and this was in the KDE, like the Plasma package group. We have a few more applications added here, so Qt related things and the Plasma Global Theme Explorer, for example, which I guess it's maybe part of the software center. Oh no, I don't know, it just tells you information about your theme and maybe you can create your new theme. That is interesting. Anyways, so this is why it's under development, I guess. You have system settings. Still not much have appeared here, but at least we installed console and we have a system monitor. So now that we have console, we can easily use this power to install everything we need. So as you can see, there are a few additional things from the Plasma group that was not in Plasma Desktop, but what was it? Plasma, I don't know. I have to look this up in a second. It's actually KDE-applications. So KDE-applications this will be the group we are going to be. You can see a lot of things. So let's try to install everything. There are a few things like Dolphin and console we already installed, and there are a few things that seems to have been installed by the as dependencies. There are a few things we can choose. Let's choose Crony, and then, well, 2 or almost 3 gigabytes worth of things will be installed here. And here we have console, so we did not talk about console before, but this is the default terminal application, I guess, for the Plasma desktop environment. So you could have like a split view, or I don't know, you can close, or you can have new tabs and then switch between tabs. So this is, a lot of people like console, a lot of people think it is bloated, and well, what does your Terminator application do with all this screen space on the top taken up by menu and window decorations and things like that? So anyways, we'll be back once things have been installed here. Alright, now that this installation process have finished, we can take a look at our application menu, which is now teeming with KDE developed things like KDevelop or Kate the Advanced Text Editor, or we have all this educational software like Articulate with a K for your pronunciation, and Blinken for your memory, and Calcium for some chemistry education, K-Algebra, Graph Calculator, K-Geography for training your geography knowledge, I guess, Japanese Reference and Study Tool, so music education software, a lot of games, Capman for your Pac-Man needs, and the graphics, you have color paint, and you also have K-Color Chooser, I guess, for color picking, contrast checker, image scanning applications. You have internet applications like the Falcon web browser and the Conqueror web browser and the Kmail mail client and the multimedia applications, even including the VLC media player, which I don't think is a KDE application and might have been installed as a dependency for something. But you have the Kden Live video editor and I guess 2 separate music players and Office programs, which are mostly email, information manager, organizer. It's an Outlook file viewer, Ocular document viewer. So a lot of things have been installed by installing the KDE applications group. So I would suggest that if you want more KDE applications, the better choice is just manually scroll through, I guess, the list and install manually the programs you specifically need. Unless, of course, you don't care and you just want to have everything installed, in which case, go ahead, whatever. But even in that case, it's only 3 gigabytes to install, which you probably have that much space. I know a lot of people basically complain a lot about the defaults in KDE and saying that it should have better defaults, and people suggesting Kubuntu as your basic KDE experience because they set it up better. But honestly, I did not find many problems with this default setup. Maybe the only weird thing is this, that you only have to like single click on things in Dolphin by default to open them, and the same goes for the applications that you put on the desktop. But other than that, I think the defaults look pretty. You can find what you need quite easily in the menu. I mean, people will generally go to the bottom left, I guess, to look for the applications they want. And yeah, I guess this status and notifications panel is also kind of, you can find whatever you needed, and people will be clicking here if they want to do things. So I guess I wouldn't be that harsh on the Plasma defaults than some other people. But anyways, if you are using Arch Linux, you are probably not the kind of person who just want to use things by default, but I don't know. So you can decide how much you like KDE or not based on all this information. And by this, I'm leaving, and see you in the next episode, I guess, in which we will go through another desktop environment available for Arch Linux. Have a good day. Bye.